when solving word problems. And we have about 5 or 6 strategies that you will be able to choose how you would like to solve your word problem. All right, so let's begin with reading our problem for today. Desiree placed 7 apples into each of 6 baskets. How many apples did Desiree place in all of the baskets? All right, so sometimes we may have some confusion of what's going on with this problem. And this is why we actually use a get chart to help us organize our information. So when I look at the first sentence, Desiree placed 7 apples into each of 6 baskets. Well, from this, I already know what my groups will be. My groups are going to be the baskets because my baskets are going to hold the apples. So I know I will have 6 groups, which represents my baskets. And in each basket, it says right here that she's going to place 7 apples into each. So 7 apples. Then my question says, how many apples did Desiree place in all of the baskets? So I'm looking for my total number of apples. If I don't know my total, then that tells me that I will be using multiplication. Okay, first I would like to use a bar model, which is also called a strip diagram, to just model what's going on with the problem. Now, sometimes I may need a visual. So this tells me, my get chart helps me to know that my bar model will have 6 groups. So I will have, that's 1 group, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And remember, these groups are representing the baskets. In each basket are 7 apples. So I'm going to put 7A to remind me that the 7 is representing the amount of apples. Well, the question is about the total number of apples. So I need to find the total number. One way to show is using equal groups. And I already know again that I have 6 groups. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And in each group I have 7 apples. So sometimes I may actually want to just draw little X's or circles so that I'm able to count the number of units that are inside each group. So I'm going to go ahead and place 7 in each. And I have 2 more groups that I will display. And then I go back and just double check and make sure that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups with 7 in each. So I see 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, and 7. Now to help me with counting this, I actually could use skip counting as I go along. I know I have 7, another group makes that 14, a third group makes that 21, a fourth one is 28, a fifth one is 35, and my 6th group makes it 42. So I've solved with having 42. Okay, another way that we're going to use is a number line. We are going to create equal jumps on a number line. So according to my problem, because I have 6 groups and I have 7 in each, it means I will need to take 6 jumps of 7. I'm going to begin my number line with 0. My first jump of 7 gets me to 7. My second jump of 7 gets me to 14. The third jump, I'm getting 21. Fourth jump, I get 28. So I have 2 more jumps. The fifth jump, I get 35. And the final jump of 7 gets me to 42. And I also want to go back and number my jumps to make sure I actually did 6 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Now that's how you do a number line. And now the fourth way I'm going to show you is a T-chart, and the fifth way we'll do will be an area model. So the fourth way is a T-chart, which is sometimes called a T-table, but it looks just like a T. And I am going to multiply by 7. So when I have one group of 7, I have 7. To have two groups, I need to add one group plus one group on the left. So on the right, I'm adding 7 plus 7, and in two groups, I get 14. Three groups, I'm going to combine two groups plus one group. Two groups plus one group. So on the right, I'm going to combine 14 plus 7. That gives me a sum of 21. Four groups. I could combine 3 plus 1, but I like using 2 plus 2. I like that because I know in two groups I have 14 plus another two groups of 14. That's a double. 14 plus 14 is 28. Five groups, I'm going to use 3 plus 2. And I chose 3 because I know in 3 groups there's 21, and I know in 2 groups there's 14. If I add 21 plus 14, I don't have to regroup. I know that will give me a sum of 35. And 6 groups. In 6 groups, I'm going to simply just say 3 plus 3 gives me 6 groups, which means 21 plus 21, another double, will give me 42. So the product is 42. Okay, and finally, I am actually going to use an area model to represent and solve for 6 groups of 7. So in my area model, I know that I am taking rows and multiplying it by columns. So in this, my rows are actually going to be my groups. So I need to have 6 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I number to make sure that I have created 6 rows. And also, I have to have 7 in each. So each row will have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And again, I number to make sure that I didn't miscount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, I can box in my area model that represents 6 times 7. And I want to skip count at the end so that I know what my product will be. So I have 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, and 42. So my product of 6 times 7 is equal to 42. And lastly, I'll just write an equation just to remember that I was solving for 6 times 7, which gave me a product of 42. And there you have multiple ways that we could solve this one problem with multiplication. So it's your turn.